Okay, welcome to the bonus content page of our art room, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. So the spirit of this is you guys always have great questions for me, and I want to field those questions, and then I want to make the answers available to everyone. So our first question, I guess, of the school year was about symmetry. It was a great question, and a lot of times uh, I will just kind of shout you an answer. Again, once again, never trust my spelling. Uh, um, but here is what symmetry is. Okay, if two things, if an object, so for example, this oval, uh, has a circle on one side and a circle on the other, as an evaluator of art, you can kind of infer that this object is symmetrical. Okay, off of this line that we have here, the line of symmetry, um, you can get like there's an eye here, there's an eye here. If this eye has a diagonal line in it, on the other side the diagonal line will reverse over here. Uh, this is what's called reflective symmetry. If we know that this is a event of reflective symmetry, I could say, well, there's a square on this side, and then you, a student, could predict there is a square on this side, and the placement is roughly the same. It's really important when you're dealing with symmetry to not only evaluate, whether or not something is the same on one side as it is on the other, but also key is placement. Okay, you'll notice that right here, um, at exactly a 90-degree angle from the line of symmetry is this horizontal line. And this horizontal line tells me the low point of the circles, and then a second horizontal line can tell me the high point of the circles. Same thing going on over here with the squares. All right, and it's all 90-degree angles. So especially with symmetry and cases of symmetry, um, you have to keep in mind that it's not just about what is on one side and what is on the other. It's also about the height width relationship. If we had, for example, um, this this sideways turned oval, and the line of symmetry was here, all right, and we had a circle here. Well, what we do is we would, to figure it out, all right, because the line of symmetry is now horizontal, those lines you're going to use to check are now vertical. And we would check here and here, and that's how we would know that another circle would appear over there. Um, I brought up this image of a butterfly because we can evaluate it. It's a great picture to evaluate. But so it's got the line of symmetry is right here. Whoops, I missed. Right there. I just can't get that line to drop in the right place. Oh boy, it's going to be a long day. Still getting the oh, that's a beautiful line. Still getting the hang of the YCOM, people. And so it's again, you can make these evaluations. Okay, you can say here and here, and ready, set, go. Okay, you're checking, and there is these aren't this isn't a perfectly symmetrical butterfly, but it's close enough. It's um, and the important thing to remember is if the image rotates, the lines of symmetry change with it. They don't just stay um, like static. Wonder if I can rotate it. I can't. Uh, but if this image were to rotate, um, the lines of symmetry would move with it. So let's pull up some student work. So what we've got here is an awesome drawing, and I think it's better than the student, my student, might actually think. It looks like there is a line of symmetry here, and it just looks like maybe you haven't built off of it, and that's cool. It's if you can get this close without using a line of symmetry. Once you have a line of symmetry, it's just gonna it's gonna be ridiculous. Like you're gonna be surprised at how much better you're drawing. Put that up there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna knock this back. One of the things that's going on here is that most of these lines are they're all kind. It's kind of like the same line, and what that does is, as the viewer, you're not sure which ones are the important ones and which ones are the ones that maybe you shouldn't focus on. So if we knock this back, and if we kind of like start to think about where the line of symmetry should be, I would guess that it would start maybe at the hilt of the dagger, and it would probably conclude at the end of the dagger. So let's drop that in. There. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start to make all these adjustments and measurements. But advantage me, I have a tool on this YCOM called the Symmetry tool, and what I'm going to do is I am going to make sure that it's perfectly symmetrical by placing my Symmetry tool along this line and then drawing it. All right, so I've got my Symmetry tool out, sliding it down right here. I'm actually going to place it. I'm going to build off the hilt, and then I'm going to use a like this Symmetry tool right there. All right, so if I use the Symmetry tool on the hilt, here we go. Boom. All right. So that is like perfectly symmetrical, right? So if you use this as a check against your work on pencil and paper, you can see that there's just these subtle areas like, let's switch to red. Let's switch to green. Green's a happier color for corrections. Like right here, this was where you put it, and you can see that it's like, ooh, that's kind of a neat effect though. But it is a little further off. So what I would say is, when you're working on this, let's see if I can now get rid of the Symmetry tool. I think once it's there, oh, here it is. It's hiding from me. Just remember when you're working with this, to keep your line of symmetry in mind, and always be making those vertical lines, so your eye should always be scanning top to bottom, okay, and you're just kind of checking to see where things are. But otherwise, this is a wonderful drawing, and if you use a little bit of like a lighter line in the beginning stages of the drawing, and then finish with a heavier, more confident line, it's going to be great. You have all the fundamentals you need. It's just those little corrections with respect to the symmetry of the actual object. So we're going to turn that off, get that out of there. But yeah, it's I can't wait to see where this drawing goes, and I even really appreciate like touches like this, like that flower, which add in some asymmetry to kind of keep the viewer's eye going, because drawings that are overly symmetrical are often not as fun to look at. So thank you for this awesome project, and I hope the drawing continues to go well. I hope that my help has been helpful, and if it wasn't, let me know, and I will continue to help. So take care now.